If you've got a golden retriever at home, you've probably heard a ton of stuff about this breed. That they're always friendly, and if they lick you, it means love. People say these things so often that everybody just accepts them as facts. But science says otherwise. According to the AKC, golden retrievers are one of the top 3 dog breeds in America, year after year. In the UK, they're also one of the top breeds families keep choosing over and over. So that means millions of people are raising Goldens based on things that may not even be true. Today, we're going through 8 of the biggest myths people believe about golden retrievers. Not to call you out, but to help you understand your dog better and take better care of them. Which one of these do you think you've been believing? Drop it in the comments before you finish the video. Part 1. Eating grass means an upset stomach. You see your golden head out into the yard, take a bite of grass, and swallow it. A lot of people's first reaction is panic, then straight to the vet, or straight to Google. Because there's a super common belief that dogs eat grass when their stomach feels off, or when they're missing some nutrient. But a study from the University of California, Davis, tracked this behavior across several dog breeds, including golden retrievers. The result? Fewer than 25% of grass-eating dogs showed any signs of illness beforehand. And only around 10% of dogs that ate grass actually threw up after. So, bluntly, most Goldens who eat grass are totally fine. So why do they do it? Researchers think it's a natural behavior inherited from their ancestors. Wild dogs often eat plants as a normal part of their everyday diet. Golden retrievers, first bred in Scotland in the 19th century to retrieve birds during hunts, still carry that instinct from their ancestors. On top of that, Goldens have something called a soft mouth, which means they were bred to carry prey without damaging it. That also makes them curious and likely to explore with their mouths, even grass. What you should actually pay attention to is the type of grass and the environment. If your yard, or the area where your dog runs around, has been treated with pesticides or chemical fertilizer, that's the real thing to worry about. But if the grass is clean, your dog is just doing something dogs have been doing for thousands of years. Part 2. A tired dog is a happy dog. This is one of the most believable myths out there, and also one of the most harmful. A lot of golden owners in the US and the UK like to take their dogs on long runs, or play endless rounds of fetch until the dog collapses, panting. The reason is usually, if he's tired, he'll behave. He won't wreck the house. That's not totally wrong, but it only solves half the problem. Golden retrievers do have a lot of energy, and yes, they need physical exercise, but they also need mental stimulation. If all you do is let them run without giving them problems to solve, or a job to do, they can still feel restless inside, even when their body is worn out. The Golden Retriever Lifetime Study, a long-term project by the Morris Animal Foundation, following more than 3,000 Goldens in the US, found that golden retrievers with high excitability scores often showed anxiety or destructive behavior, not because they lacked exercise, but because they lacked purpose. They were bred to work with people, not just run in circles. A lot of dog trainers in the UK recommend combining 30 minutes of physical exercise with 15 minutes of scent games or learning a new command. A session like that works better than a full hour of just running. If your golden is still wrecking stuff even after a lot of exercise, the question you should be asking isn't, how much more should I run him? But, did he get to do anything meaningful today? Part 3. 1 dog year equals 7 human years. A 3-year-old dog equals 21 in human years. A 10-year-old dog equals 70 in human years. This formula gets repeated everywhere, from dog care books to social media posts. It sounds simple, easy to remember, but biologically, it's wrong. One study looked at the changes in dogs' DNA methylation at different life stages, then compared them with humans. The results showed that dogs age very fast in the early years, then the aging process slows down. So a 1-year-old dog is actually closer to a 30-year-old human, not a 7-year-old. And with golden retrievers, this matters even more because their average lifespan is only around 10 to 12 years. And according to the Golden Retriever Lifetime Study, cancer is the #1 cause of death and accounts for about 60% of deaths in this breed. That's unusually high compared with most other dog breeds. Why does that matter? Because if you keep using the 1=7 rule, you'll misread what stage of life your dog is actually in. You might skip important health screenings or ignore early signs of aging because you think, he's still young. In reality, a 5-year-old golden retriever is already entering middle age in biological terms. Regular vet checkups starting at age 5, including cancer screening, are something the Morris Animal Foundation recommends for golden owners. Part 4. Dogs are completely colorblind. Dogs can't see color the way humans do. That part is true. Human eyes have 3 types of color detecting cells, while dogs only have 2. That means dogs don't see red and green the way we do. To them, those 2 colors look pretty similar. But dogs do see blue and yellow very clearly. Their world is not some dull gray blur like the cartoons make it look. And what's even more interesting is this. Golden retrievers have a visual advantage humans don't. Their eyes have a higher ratio of low light sensing cells, which helps them see better in dim conditions. This trait was selected for back when they were hunting in the foggy early mornings of Scotland. On top of that, their peripheral vision is significantly wider than ours. They're also much better at detecting motion. That's why a golden playing out in the yard can spot you standing at the window from pretty far away, even if you don't make a sound. So what about a red ball in green grass? Your golden can still find it, but mostly by smell and movement, not color. Part 5. The guilty look is real. You come home and see your shoes chewed to pieces. You look at your golden, and there it is. Droopy eyes, pinned back ears, a slow, cautious tail wag. And right away you think, he knows he messed up. This plays out in millions of homes across the US and the UK every day. But animal behavior psychologist Alexandra Horowitz at Columbia University ran a really interesting experiment. She asked dog owners to leave the room. In some cases, the dogs did eat the forbidden item. In other cases, nothing happened at all. But Horowitz told the owners that the dog had done something wrong. The result? Dogs showed the so-called guilty look, whether they had actually done anything wrong or not. They were reacting to the owner's tone and body language. In plain English, your golden isn't feeling guilty. He's reading your emotions and responding in the way experience has taught him is the safest in that moment. This matters because it directly affects how you train your dog. If you believe in the guilty look and punish your dog because of it, you're punishing a performance, not the real behavior. Your dog doesn't learn anything from that except more anxiety. Instead, use positive reinforcement the moment you catch the right behavior. That's the method with the strongest scientific support right now for golden retrievers. Part 6. Licking equals kissing. This is the one a lot of golden owners really don't want to let go of. When your golden licks your face, it feels warm and sweet, and you think, he loves me. That's not completely wrong, but it's not the whole story either. Dogs lick for a lot of different reasons. One of them is social bonding and communication, which really is close to what we'd call affection. But dogs also lick to gather information through scent, to show submission, to calm themselves down, and sometimes just because your skin tastes salty. The bigger issue a lot of people overlook is hygiene. A study published in the journal Zoonoses and Public Health found that dogs' mouths contain many kinds of bacteria, and some of them can make humans sick, especially young children, older adults, and people with weak immune systems. That doesn't mean you need to stop your golden from licking altogether, but letting them lick directly into your mouth, eyes, or an open wound is something vets and medical professionals recommend avoiding. Golden retrievers are especially into physical contact with people. That's the result of centuries of breeding them to work closely alongside humans. Everything we just covered isn't a list meant to make you anxious about your golden. The goal is to help you see your dog more accurately. Understanding them better doesn't make you love your golden any less. It just helps you care for them better. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next part. And comment below with something you used to believe about Goldens that turned out not to be true, because I'd love to read your story.